Hey y'all. It's game time. Y'all ready, ladies? Y'all fired up, ready to go? Gonna let everybody get in. You ladies.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying we still have some time left in the countdown. So
Yes.
yeah.
And then some people are
We
trickling
are
even later
live.
after
We
that.
are live and they're trickling in. It's 6:32. So we're just
Her
sitting
and these
here
pom poms.
warming
Let
up.
her get in. Let her do her stuff this. So she look out her ass.
Oh my gosh, we should have some music.
We need music. I can put music on.
Okay. Yeah, as long as it's not copyright.
Yes.
Oh, you talking about from okay, there you go.
It's fine. Play some music. And there's some in the studio too. It's very generic, but it's some in there. Do-do-do-do. Oh, unless y'all want me to sing.
What you gonna what you
This
gonna sing?
little light of mine.
Oh snap.
Right. Because that's what some of my buyers need. They need that encouragement.
Some
I'm going to
prayer and
let it
motivation.
shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Maybe I won't put music on because you said if it's going like we don't want us to get muted if we're live. Is that
Yeah.
gonna be an issue?
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Yeah.
Okay.
But
So I
let's see
won't.
what they
Okay,
have
well
in the.
on Facebook we are live. On YouTube it's still counting down.
Yeah. I say it on TikTok, but you just never know.
Hold on, I got a few people trying to um need assistance.
Can you guys hear that music?
Mhm.
Were you able to get them
Yep,
in?
you can hear it.
Yeah, okay, very good.
Hold on, I have a few more people trying to join us.
Sure thing. Naisha, what are you most excited about doing on this live tonight?
Helping people with clearing their misconceptions of what home ownership is truly about and what it takes to become a homeowner. A lot of people won't invest in real estate because of the misconceptions. I need 20% down. I have to have perfect credit. I'm going to be stuck in a 30-year loan. These things are all untrue. So, yeah, maybe I should write that down, huh?
Lot of misconceptions, a lot of misconceptions.
Hold on, y'all. I got a bunch of people saying they don't see anything.
Yeah, that's what I
You're
was
not,
saying.
you're not
Hold
seeing
on.
anything.
Let me get a
I see you guys on the YouTube, so send them to the Ready Set Buy.
okay. I think the link that went out in the email is the one people are saying it's not working. So I'm just gonna text.
Yeah, it didn't work for me.
Okay,
Okay.
so maybe something happened with that. Hang on. Let me see. Can I drop you another? So can you guys? I'm gonna drop this in the chat, and then if you guys can share, or you? Oh, wait.
Are you able to go into the actual Eventbrite and put the new link in there? Because it'll email all the people who signed up.
Yes, I can email everyone back in Eventbrite. Hang on just a minute. But also, if they're just in right now, if they just go to that YouTube channel, they'll see the live video is there. But let me just go in here. I'm going to email everybody just a minute. And while I do that, I'm going to drop this in here to y'all too. No problem. No problemo. Do you see it live on the Facebook, Alexis?
Yeah, well, on my Facebook page, I'm live on Facebook. So I'm just
Very
sending
good.
them the Facebook one if the YouTube isn't working.
Good. And
Yeah, it says we're streaming on Facebook and YouTube. So we have 3 viewers from YouTube. So maybe it's working.
okay. I'm going to just send them one anyway. I'm in here now. Updated link. And now, and yes, and send.
Okay. Yeah, we need to get a new link. Tanika, in
Yeah,
the
so I
chat,
did share
link.
the new link.
All right, let me get that over to everyone.
And I also just sent it out in an email.
To everyone that registered on Eventbrite?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to just tell them check their email.
And if you're able to copy that and share that on your so I showed that we have 4. We have a couple more in.
Yeah, I'm trying to get them the link.
We have 3 on YouTube. And one from my page. Welcome in, welcome in. Hey, we got action. We ready, set, buy. Ready, set, buy. Ready, set, buy. Ready, set, buy. Welcome in. We have a visitor.
Yes, welcome.
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 Yeah, this new link is working, so I'm going to send this to everyone.
Very good. We love our technology, don't we?
Yeah. I always give people about 5-10 minutes to work out the kinks anyway, whether it's on our end or their end or the universe's end. It is what it is.
Yeah, you guys can help us out and put in the comments where you're tuning in from.
Yes. Come on in the room. Raising baby alive. You here.
Welcome home. Houston in the house. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, come on, Houston. Yay.
Everybody go ahead and put in the chat where you're visiting us from. Please. I'm in Spring, Texas. I'll start.
Woo. Where are you tuning in from? It's Raising Babies Alive.
Okay, we should have a few more people joining. Right?
Raising Babies Alive. That's what I see.
Oh, her baby.
As they should. This is
their platform.
Yes, this is their platform. Tell them to get online. I have quite a few little ones that follow my TikTok, and they always, when they see me, they go, "I know you. I saw you on TikTok." And I say, "Yeah, tell your mommy it's time to buy a house."
Yeah, tell your mommy you want a backyard to play in with a pool.
Tell them you want a backyard. You want your own room. Okay, Stafford. Woo!
Okay, Stafford.
Tell us where you are tuning in from so we can shout you out.
Next time I have to bring one of my Spanish speaking loan officers on so we can do some translating.
I do have one that'll be joining, and we do have someone
Yeah, definitely.
in the chat that can help us as well with some translation if we need it.
Perfect.
Yes, yes, yes. Se habla español.
Hey.
Hey. So guys, we
Okay.
have everything laid out for you guys. You guys are all in for a treat. I cannot wait to share all of this information and knowledge. And my hope for everyone that's on the call today is that you leave fed, that you leave empowered, and you leave with a plan in place on your next steps. So we're going to give you guys just a couple more minutes for everyone to get in. We'll get started on the 6:45 mark. How's that for everybody? That gives us 3 more minutes to let people get in, get settled, and drop your questions in the chat. Let's get whatever's been burning you. You made it here already. First come, first
Yeah,
serve.
what do you
What is it
expect
that
to learn from this?
you hope to learn today? What do you hope to get out of today's session? Okay. We have Dolores from KB Homes in the chat.
Oh, hi, Dolores.
We have some members in the chat.
Okay, and I'm waiting on
No worries.
one more
So
person
about
to
2 more
join.
minutes, letting everybody get in, get settled, get you a nice little beverage so you don't get parched. You don't want to miss none of this information, honey. Get settled, get your chips on what you need to do. Very good.
Yes, so you're in the right place for that.
Okay. So you've heard about the 100% financing. You want to know more about that? Well, guess what? We have an expert on with us who's going to talk all things money. Hello from Houston. This is what you get when you tell us where you're from. I've always wanted to be a cheerleader.
You did? I was an ASB. I was always on the
Here she
political
go.
side of high school. ASB, BSU, all that good stuff. Hello, Chancey.
Yes.
Is it Chauncey? Hello from Houston. Is it true we can buy a home with no money? Really, I want to know, what is 100% financing? Ooh, Kimberly. She's getting right to the meat
She's
and
getting right
potatoes.
into it.
Right to it. Show me
No
the
holds
money.
barred. Yes.
Yeah. What's that
Show
TikTok they said,
me
where
the
is my money?
money.
Pay me my money. Is that what they're saying on TikTok? They do TikTok.
No, what do they do? The clap? They do the clap. Yay! Show me my money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me my money.
My
Yes.
money.
Give me my house.
Yes, give me my pre-approval.
Give me my pre-approval. Yay.
Yeah.
2 phrases that are music to my ears. Pre-approval and clear the close. And y'all gonna learn all about it today.
Ooh, Jesus.
Yes, indeed. So, ladies, it is 6:45. The people are here. They are ready. We already got questions on deck. So, guys, let me give you the breakdown. So, you're here at Ready, Set, Buy. And we are going to show you all the plays to win and score in the home ownership journey. Okay? So, we're going to kick it off now. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with y'all so you don't judge me and listen. Keep it to yourself. That I don't know much about football. I don't know. I know it's a first quarter, a second quarter, a third quarter, and a fourth quarter. I know about touchdown. I know a little something, but if I say a phrase kind of out of context, you like, girl, that's basketball. Okay, just keep it to yourself. But we running the plays. We running the plays on every aspect of home ownership. And so here in this first quarter, we have Miss Naisha gonna break it down to you. Where do you get started? Because that was one of the questions. Like, where do I start? Where do I don't even know where to begin. What's step one? What is step one? Definitely talking to your
Definitely
mortgage
talking
lender.
to
Because
your,
at the end of the
your
day,
mortgage lender.
what are we doing? We don't know what your budget is, what you can afford, if your credit is ready, if you have enough funds. If we don't know those things, then it's kind of a moot point. So our very first step is always speaking to a lender. Talk to the money people. And I know, because I've had a few people say, oh, I don't know what my credit is like. And I'm so scared. I don't even want to see it, girl. I just don't even want to see it. I don't even want to see it. But we can't be afraid. And Naisha will tell us, Naisha tell us, have you ever seen anything where you went, oh no?
Every day.
Every day. But do you turn them down? Don't scare the people. Do you turn them
No,
down?
I don't believe in turning people down. I believe in giving people a game plan. A lot of people weren't educated on credit and we don't know what it's like. And that's why they're scared to check it because they don't know. People are scared of the unknown. So no, we don't turn people away, but sometimes we have to tell people, you're going to need about 6 months. You're going to need 3 months. You're going to need a year, but you're going to need to do these things in order to get approved for a home. So with my company, we don't just leave people with a no. It's maybe a not right now, or yes, but your rate may be higher, or yes, but you don't qualify for this program. So we're not just gonna. I've seen some scary credit. I've seen credit where it took work to get it that bad. Like they intentionally
Sabotaged. Okay.
did it all.
And
My
sometimes
credit,
it happens.
at one point, I was in the 400 club. No lie. So we'll talk about that too.
Facts. Well, let's get into it because we here in the first quarter. We done warmed up. I done warmed the people up now. We done stretched. I've cheered. I got the crowd going wild. Hey, they ready. They ready. Y'all ready? Put ready in the chat right now if you ready. You ready for this? You ready?
Well, my name is Naisha Walton, and I am the broker and the owner of the Lending Village. We are here in Houston, but we're licensed in multiple states. And I'm here to drop gems. I'm going to be straight up with you. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need, exactly what to do, and exactly what not to do if you want to become a homeowner. I'm going to go ahead and address Kimberly's question first. Can you buy a home with no 100% financing? Absolutely. There are several 100% financing options. But Kimberly, what you need to know is free money is expensive. What does that mean? That you're going to pay more for that money. So if you get a regular loan, you're looking at maybe 5% interest rate. On that 100% financing loan, you're going to be paying 8%, 9% interest rate. Your rate's going to be higher. Why is your rate going to be higher? Because there's no skin in the game. The down payment assistance, 100% financing loans, those are the fastest loans that people default on. They have the highest default rate because there's no skin in the game. Now, what does 100% financing mean? That means that your whole loan is going to be financed, but that doesn't mean your closing costs are going to be financed. There are programs that will cover your down payment and closing costs. Don't cry. Don't cry. No tears in football. There are programs that will take care of your down payment and your closing costs, but it's going to be more expensive. Okay. These are the fees. I'm going to go ahead and get started with, since we're talking about money up front, these are the things that you're going to need to be prepared for when you get ready to purchase a home. You're going to want to pay for a credit report. A lot of people come to me with Credit Karma and Credit Sesame or their Capital One credit reports. I can't use those credit reports. They're not on the same model I use. I use a mortgage model, which is completely different. It's a different FICO factor. So I need to pull your credit. I can do soft credit pulls, but the investors don't take soft credit pulls. So if you're serious and you're ready, you're going to do a hard credit pull. Can't be scared to let us pull your credit, because in order for us to help you, we need to know exactly how to help you. It's like when you go to the doctor and you don't want to give blood work. How are they going to know what's causing your back pain or your neck pain or whatever ailments you're complaining about if they don't do blood work? I need to see your blood work. So that's your credit report. So that's the very first one you want to check in. And I'm biased. I would say go with a mortgage broker rather than a bank. The difference between a mortgage broker and a bank, I'm going to use the doctor analogy again, is mortgage brokers specialize in mortgages and mortgages only. Banks have a lot of different specialties. So if your foot hurts, you want to go to a foot doctor. If your ear hurts, you want to go to an ENT. You don't want to go to a regular doctor. So this is why I always encourage you to use a broker. The second reason I encourage you to use a broker is because we can shop loans. We can shop for you. We can shop investors for you, meaning we can find the best rate, the best program, the best overall scenario for you, so you're not out rerunning your credit here and there. We can take your package, we package up all your information, your income, your credit, all your documents, and we send that over to different investors and we shop it for you. We know what we're looking for. We know how to shop for you. So I say mortgage broker. I save a lot of loans for major banks. Go ahead. What is your question? Whatever questions you have, I'm looking at the chat, and I have notes here. So if I get thrown off, don't even worry about it. What's your question? Oh, you guys have to forgive me. There's a 10-second delay. So if I sound like I'm off or delayed, it's just because of the delay. I'm going to keep going until you put your question in the chat. So as far as 100% financing, yes, we do offer DPA programs and grants. They are out there. You will need at least a 580 credit score to qualify for any type of assistance. If you have a FICO score of 620 or higher, then you're going to be in a better position. You'll have more options, because there's more than one different down payment assistance program. There are several of them. I paid for a hard pull, I think, but it disappeared when I logged out and I can't find it. With what lender? Is that with me? Did you do that with me, love? Yes, DPA is down payment assistance. Yeah, I'll do my best to not speak mortgage to you guys, but some stuff just comes out. The other question I get, since we're talking about money, interest rates, a lot of people, the first thing they come to me and they ask me about rates. They say, hey, Naisha, how are rates? And my answer to that is rates are rating. That's what rates do. So keep that in mind. You're not in this market to shop rates. You're in this market to gain equity. What you should be asking is, if I buy this house, how much equity am I going to walk away with in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Okay, we'll find that credit. We'll find that credit pool. I saw it earlier and I sent it over to my assistant. So we'll take care of that for you. That's no problem. I did see it, and we're going to work on that for you. DNet's going to be reaching out to you. Okay. But back to equity. People always asking what's rate, and you hear it all the time. Marry the house, date the rate. What does that mean? That means when you find a home that you like, that you love, that you want to invest in, you buy that house and you can refinance the rate later. So if rates are high, and rates can't be higher than your rent. Let's keep that in mind, because if you're paying rent, you're paying 100% interest, and you're sending somebody else's kids to college because you're paying off their house. So if you're looking only at rates and you're saying, I want to wait and buy a house until rates change, don't do that, because by the time the rate changes, the house is going to be more expensive. So what I had people do is, last year they're like, I'm going to wait for rates to drop. The house was 300,000. Rates dropped. Guess what? Now the house is 400,000. So now they're paying even more for this house when they could have just bought the house and refinanced. If that makes sense to you guys, let me know so I can cross that off my list. But just know rates are rating. That's what rates do. Don't focus on the rate. Focus on how much equity. And for example, when I bought my house, I offered 100,000 over asking for my house, and everybody talked about me. I was on House Hunters, in the YouTube comments in House Hunters. People are, oh my gosh, she paid 100,000 over asking. They talked about me. But guess what? This house across the street sold for $300,000 over what I bought my house for a month later. So I have instant equity. I knew what I was doing. When you're working with a real estate agent that knows what they're doing, they're not going to let you make that type of investment. So make sure you're working with a real estate agent that knows what they're doing. We want to talk about misconceptions. I want to go ahead and lead with that. 3 of the top misconceptions that I get when I'm helping people invest in real estate is they need 20% down. You do not need 20% down to buy a house, you guys. Okay. That is if you're trying to buy an investment property, if you're doing like a DSCR loan where you're buying a house to rent it out, things like that, yeah, you'll need to come in with 20% down. But if you're buying a primary residence, a home that you plan on living in, you don't need 20% down. If you have a 620, yeah, yes, agents like Tanika and Alexis, they're amazing. They have experience. They're resourceful. You definitely want to reach out to them. Even if you're not in the Texas area, you'll still want to reach out to them because they can refer you to an agent that's not going to let you down. It's very important to have a good, experienced, resourceful real estate agent when you're working your real estate transaction. And you don't want to do it by yourself. Always hire a real estate agent, even when you're doing new construction. Okay. Back to misconceptions. If I don't like what the lender is telling me, can I or should I go to another lender, and how will that affect my credit? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. If your spirit is telling you something ain't right, run. Absolutely. If you do it within 30 days, supposedly it's not supposed to affect your credit. And allegedly it doesn't affect your credit if you do it within 30 days. So if you're going to be lender shopping and lender hopping, make sure you do that within a 30-day period, so that what happens is the credit bureaus understand. I talk fast, you guys. So if I need to slow down, just somebody tell me slow down. And if I need to fix my face, just put it in the chat to fix my face, because I'll be doing some facial expressions. It's the credit bureaus are understanding for people shopping for a mortgage loan. So they're not going to keep hitting you and hitting you and hitting you. Very rarely have I seen that second or third inquiry for a mortgage take a hit on somebody's credit. I've seen it happen before, but not too often. That's why I say go with a broker instead of a lender, because the broker can shop for you. Do you understand what I'm saying, Kimberly? If you go from lender to lender to lender, you're running your credit all these different times. But if you go to a broker, we run your credit one time and we shop the different lenders for you. Does that make sense? And you don't pay us. We get paid by the lender. So it's not like you have to pay us up front to shop these loans for you. The bank is going to pay us. Did that answer your question, love? Okay, cool. All right. Now, the other misconception is, I don't want to be stuck in a 30-year loan. You're going to have to live somewhere for 30 years. I don't know why people get upset that, and you don't have to pay the loan in 30 years. You can pay it off. You can pay extra on your mortgage. If you make one extra mortgage payment a year, you can shave your mortgage down by 10 years just very quickly. So just pay extra on your principal when you make your mortgage payments if you don't want to be stuck in a 30-year mortgage. But either way, like I said, you have to live somewhere. So why not it be something that you're gaining equity in? And then the other misconception that I get all the time is I have to have perfect credit. You don't need to have perfect credit, but you need to have decent credit. What we're looking for is your late payments. We're looking for collections. We're looking for you being responsible, paying people. When I see people with the Capital One credit card and the monthly bill is $35 a month and you're late on that, that's a red flag for me. How are you going to pay this $2,000 a month if you're not paying this $35 a month? So my advice is to put all your credit cards on auto pay. Have the bill paid 10 days before the statement is due, before the bill is due. Put everything on auto pay. Don't be scared to use auto pay. Keep enough money in your bank account to have your stuff on auto pay. The only thing I don't have on auto pay is my car payment and my mortgage, because those are two very big bills and I want to be able to control those two. But everything else is on auto pay. So make sure you guys have everything set up to just pay and forget. Do we have any questions about misconceptions or rates before I move on? Okay, so now I want to go into credit. I'm going to talk about credit up front. We pulled 3 credit scores. We pulled TransUnion, Equifax, and I have to say it like this because this lady said it to me like this, and so I say it like this to everybody now. Experian. TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. We're going to pull those 3 credit bureaus. We're going to take the middle score and use that to help to price your loan out, to structure your loan, to shop the interest rate, okay? So if your credit score is 601, 602, and 603, we're going to use the 602 score. If we have 2 borrowers, we're going to use the lowest middle score. So we'll combine the scores and we'll use the lowest of those middle. Say we have a husband and wife, or a mother, father, or whatever type of situation we have on the application, because you can put anybody you want to on your mortgage application. Credit is important. So if you have late payments within the last 12 to 24 months, you're going to need to work on having those late payments removed. If you just have 1 or 2 late payments, I suggest you call the creditor and let them know, like, hey, I've been paying these bills on time every month. I had a hiccup with my bill pay and I got late on this payment. Do you think you could do a goodwill deed for me and reverse this late payment into a positive payment? Most of the time they will. Now, if you're doing this every month, forget about it. But if it's just a one-off situation, I've seen creditors do it. I've wrote letters for people and helped them do it. The creditors will reverse these late payments on your behalf if you have a history of being a bill payer. So don't be scared to call these people and ask for help. Another thing, if you have trouble paying your bills, you need to reach out to your credit people. Reach out to the creditor and tell them, I'm having trouble. Life is lifing. Do you have any forbearance programs? Are there any resources for me? Make sure you speak up. Don't have so much pride to where you let your credit score take a hit because you were scared to ask for help. My life changed when I started letting people help me. Let people help you. Don't be so stubborn to where you think you got to do everything by yourself. I have 3 generations in my house. Let people help you. Okay. Utilization is another thing that we look at on your credit report. So we want to see if you have your cards maxed out. We want to see how much you're paying every month on them. All this stuff is going to be factored into how much you can afford to pay on a mortgage. There are things that don't report to your credit. Okay. A lot of people will have their credit cleaned up. They'll have a credit repair person remove bankruptcies. Your SBA loans may not show up on the credit report. Judgments, lien, child support, a lot of things may not show up or you get it wiped out. We're going to find it. So you need to be honest with your lender when you're doing your application about other debts that you have. The first thing we're going to see is we're going to see it on your bank statement. We're going to see the payment. The payment has to add up. But we see this, maybe you have a buy here, pay here car loan and you didn't report that. We're going to see the payment on your bank statement. We're going to run systems like Kavers and Maven that we use in underwriting and processing. And we can see things that don't report to the credit bureau on these things. If you owe apartments, things like that, evictions, we're going to see all of that. So make sure you guys are honest with me because I'm not going to tell you no. I'm going to say you need to fix this. Call these people and make a payment arrangement. Get some type of letter from them showing that you're making payments. I'm going to teach you how to work these things out because you didn't know any better. You just didn't know any better. So now we're fixing things. Okay. So credit, that's what we're going to do with credit. What if I'm self-employed and I'm a new business? Self-employed people, there's a couple of different ways we can work with self-employed. We need 2 years of tax returns. We usually tell people before you start your new company to buy a house by your W-2. If you've already done the self-employment and you don't have your W-2 job anymore, then we're going to need 2 years tax returns in order to establish your income. Because how do we know how much you qualify for if we don't know what this new business is earning you? We need to see some type of history of income. Some of the other things you can do if you don't have your tax returns is we can use bank statements. We've done bank statement loans, but again, you're going to come in with more money down and you're going to have a higher interest rate. Another thing that we've done for people who are self-employed and don't have the income that we need to show is you can do a DSCR loan. And that is an investment property loan. You're going to come in with 20% minimum down. You're going to have a higher interest rate, but we'll use the projected income from the property versus your income. So maybe you buy a fourplex and you live in one and we use the income from the other 3 units, something like that. But brand new businesses, we're going to need to see 2 years of tax returns. Now, when we look at your tax returns on this, after you've had your business seasoned for 2 years, a lot of people, I'm a business owner, and a lot of us will write everything off. We don't want to pay taxes. We're not looking at how much money you made. We're looking at the bottom line. We're looking at after all of your deductions, after all of your expenses, after all of the itemizations, we're looking at that bottom number. So if you made $200,000, but after all your deductions and expenses and costs, you're down to $30,000, that's what we're going to use. And then self-employed people, we need to make sure that you have stable income or growing income. So 2022, you made 100,000, and in 2023, you made 50,000. That declining income is going to be a red flag for our investors. So we need to know what happened. Why did you stop earning money? And if you have an excuse, maybe I got sick, I had a car accident, something happened. Sometimes we're able to write letters with extenuating circumstances. But this is what the underwriters are looking for. They're getting ready to loan you $250,000, $500,000. So you need to have your stuff together, and we need to make sure you can pay this money back. We don't want to have to come and take the house back. You don't want to repo a house, okay? You guys don't want to do foreclosure. So that's what I have about with credit. Do we have any questions about credit before I move on to the next topic? Anybody need to get a drink of water, take a breath, light a cigarette, because it's about to get real. All right, we're going to talk about loan programs, okay? How can I get more information about DSCR loans? Call my office, 844. Text my office and ask that question. Tell them I need information about DSCR loans, 844 405-2400, and I'll have a loan officer give you some more information on DSCR loans. I can't go into detail about every single loan program because we'll be here until January. So I'm just going to touch on stuff. And if you want to actually speak to somebody and have a consultation to see what you qualify for, you can text that number, or you can call it, and one of my loan officers will pick up. There's 28 of us. We're all licensed, all experienced. Now, the people that pick up the phone have to have experience. So just reach out to that 844-405-2400, and we'll get you the information you need. DSCR loans are great loans. They're great programs. So loan programs. So down payment assistance and grants. There's a difference between down payment assistance and grants. Down payment assistance sometimes have to be repaid. Okay. If you don't stay in the house for 3 to 5 years, when you refinance or you sell the house, those people doing the grants maybe want their money back. With grants, you get that money, you keep it. So there's a difference between the two. Down payment assistance and grant programs always have higher interest rates, no matter which way you go. I've been able to close on down payment assistance loans in 2-3 weeks. They don't take that long to close if you know what you're doing. The reason why a lot of investors, a lot of lenders, a lot of brokers, a lot of them won't do down payment assistance programs because they're harder to do and we don't get paid much on them. My company is not here just for the check. We get paid for our purpose. I'll get paid from another loan, but I'm not just here to get your money. I want to make sure that I'm doing right. I'm doing right ethically, and I'm making sure people are getting help where they're at. There was a point in time in my life where there was no way I could come up with a down payment for a house. When I bought my house, my dad gifted me the money for my down payment. It's hard to come up with down payment money when you're living check to check and you're just trying to keep your lights on. So if you're in that situation and you need help, then take advantage of these programs. If you have money in the bank and you just don't want to spend it, you need to spend it, because that money sitting in the bank is not making you any money. When you put that money into real estate, now you're making money. You're making money with your money. You're moving, when you pay that mortgage, you're not just paying mortgage like how you pay your rent. You're moving money from checking and savings to equity where it's going to grow. So you can't lose. The down payment assistance programs are FHA and conventional loans. Primarily, they have FHA and conventional guidelines. We do have some for VA. Most veterans don't need down payment assistance because they're 100%, but sometimes they need help with closing costs. So that's where that comes in. FHA loans, you'll need a 580 credit score with 3.5% down. And you're going to have your on-time payment history. We're going to look at your credit history, and we're going to need to see that you have on-time payments. If you have 1 or 2 late payments here or there, not a big deal. We just need a letter of explanation. If you have under a 580 FICO score, you're going to need 10% down. FHA loans come with upfront mortgage insurance and monthly mortgage insurance. That mortgage insurance does not protect the buyer. It protects the bank in case you don't pay your mortgage, okay? VA loans, they're for veterans, 100% financing. VA loans are awesome. We have low interest rates on VA loans, and we're able to bend a lot of more rules for the VA loans. Okay, they're a lot easier to qualify for. You have higher debt to income. You have higher. They're just easier to do. There's no minimum credit score on a VA loan. The bank may tell you there is no minimum credit score on a VA loan. We just need to see on-time payments for the last 12 to 24 months, and we'll need to see your certificate of eligibility. We'll need to see your income statement. It's the same thing that we do for all the other loans. You'll need to turn in your income documents, and I'll go over all that stuff next. But VA loans are awesome. If you're a respected retired veteran, thank you for your service, and you definitely need to utilize your VA loan. Are there some programs that have no income restrictions? Like for down payment assistance, I do have some programs that don't have income restrictions, and you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. So I do have some DPA programs and grant programs that don't require you to be poor, or if you can be a doctor or a lawyer, you can still get down payment assistance. USDA loans. USDA loans are for people that are living in rural areas. So you'll need to run the address by your real estate agent and your loan officer to see if that house is qualifying for USDA. USDA FICO score is 620. The debt to income ratios are very high on USDA. I'm sorry, very low. We're very strict on USDA loans. So just keep that in mind. If you have a lot of debt and you have a lot of income, USDA loans have income restrictions and they have debt restrictions. Conventional loans are going to be for people who have credit scores of 620 or more, and you've been responsible with your credit. With conventional loans, you'll need 3% down for first-time home buyers, 5% down if this is a second-time home buying. And if you don't want to pay mortgage insurance, you'll put 20% down. That's when the 20% comes in, okay? I-10 loans are for my guys who don't have social security numbers and they live in here and they work in here and they pay taxes. They want to buy a house. We do loans for those people all the time. I don't see what the problem is. I've heard people make some pretty crappy statements about it. But if you're here renting and you're paying bills and you're paying taxes, you should be able to be a homeowner. It's the United States of America, right? So those are I-10 loans. I do them all the time. They're great programs. What we do to establish a credit report for I-10 loans is we'll gather your bills for 12 months. We'll ask you for your phone bill, your rent bill, whatever bills you have. We'll ask for a whole bunch of your bills and we'll get 12 months of those bills and we'll give them to our credit, the credit vendor that we use, and they'll give us a credit score just for the home loan purpose. Now, you won't have a credit score like if you try to go buy a car or furniture or something like that. It'll just be for the loan, okay? DSCR, those are debt service loans. Those are for investors. So we use the income from the property to qualify you for the loan. Credit scores are going to vary on that. I have a few different investors. 680 is where you're going to be about 680, 700 on DSCR loans. We do rehab loans. So this is something that my real estate agents want to listen to. If you have a client that found a house and you guys go through the inspection and there's some problems with the house, instead of backing out, we can flip it to a rehab loan. We can have those items repaired. So if you find a house that you're absolutely in love with, but there's carpet on the wall and the kitchen is from the 60s, there's loans that we can do through FHA, VA, conventional, and USDA. All have rehab programs, and they're not hard to get. They're not hard to do, okay? Fix and flips. Those are for my investors. We do fix and flips. We do hard money, and we also do commercial. So if you want to buy a commercial building, if you want to buy a church, if you want to buy a gas station, something like that, I have a commercial department that you can reach out to. You can text that number, and we can help you with that. What is needed for closing cost programs? What do you mean, Jordan? Like if you want to get closing cost assistance, like someone to pay your closing costs for you, is that what you're referring to? If that's what you're referring to, what's needed for closing cost programs, those are the down payment assistance and the grant programs. It's the same stipulations. It's the same thing. And that falls under one of our 100% financing programs that we have through two of our investors. So it's the same thing. New construction. We work with new construction loans. A lot of times the builders have very strict parameters when it comes to getting qualified for a home loan. If the builder cannot approve you, you definitely want to reach out to us. We can approve you. We can do new construction loans on homes that are already built or being built, or say you want to go buy land and you want to build on that land. We do a one-time close construction where we include the land and the build in the same loan. So that's a one-time close construction loan. Those are most of the loans that we can help with. There's pretty much all of them. Do we have any questions about the loans that you can get? Okay, one thing I forgot to tell you guys when I was talking about credit, don't let these car dealerships tell you that buying a car will build your credit. Buying a car is the worst thing you can buy before you buy a house. It will not build your credit. It's going to damage your credit. It's also for every $350. I'm sorry, my neighbor is going by on his motorcycle. It's dark outside. Pray for him. For every $350 you spend on a car payment, you're losing about $50,000 worth of purchase power. So if you have a $350,000 pre-approval and you buy a car and your payment's $350, now your approval is $300,000. Okay, and I don't know too many people with a $350 car payment. Most of the people that I see, they got $700 to $1,200 car payments. So keep that in mind. Waiting to buy a car. Do not buy a car before you buy a house. If you already have a car, just sit down and don't buy no more cars. If I feel like you can refinance the car when I look at your application, I'll help you refinance it. I refinanced my car before I bought my house, and I lowered my payment on my car about $100. But it can affect your credit. So you guys want to reach out to your lender before you do stuff like that. All right. I'm crossing stuff off my list. Now, what you're going to be paying for up front when you get ready to start your loan process, okay, guys? Credit reports. You're going to pay for your credit report. Some lenders don't charge for credit reports, and those lenders are probably going to charge you in a different way. So your interest rate might be a tad bit higher. Your closing cost may be a tad bit higher. You're going to pay it one way or the other, so you might as well pay it up front out of pocket so you don't have to worry about paying for it later, okay? So that's the first you're going to pay for. The second thing you're going to pay for is once you find a home that you've fallen in love with and you've been pre-approved, you're going to pay for an inspection, okay? A lot of people will get an appraisal done before an inspection. I say that's backwards. Why would you care about how much a house is worth if you can't live in it? I say get the inspection done. It's going to cost you $600 on up. I paid $880 for the inspection of my house. You need the inspection to make sure the house is livable. And also with some home loans like VA, if there's certain things wrong with the house, VA will not approve the loan. So you need to get an inspection to make sure the house is safe for you and your family. Yes, I've had inspections come back where somebody's house had radiation in their basement. And the man wanted the house, and I'm like, bro, we're not doing this. You're not going to put you and your kids in this house and y'all growing third eyes and extra arms and legs. Like, I don't play around with radiation. It's time to find a new house. So make sure you get that inspection done. The next thing you're going to pay out of pocket is for an appraisal. Appraisals are $650 and higher. Okay, appraisal is going to determine the value of the home. So you've got the clearance that the house is safe to live in. Now we need to see how much the value of the home is. If you're trying to get a loan for $500,000 and the house only approves for $450,000, the bank is not going to approve you for the extra $50,000 difference. You're going to have to bring that in, or you're going to have one of your wonderful real estate agents renegotiate that contract because you got a gap now. So you make sure that that value is there in that house. And sometimes you want some equity. Like when I got my inspection and my appraisal done for my house appraised for what I bid on it. Even though I paid $100,000 over asking price, my house appraised for $110,000 over what they were asking for. So make sure you guys get that. Your down payment, we talked about that, 3%, 5%, 20%, whatever percent. Down payments for most programs can be gifted. Do you hear me? You can get a gift for the down payment from a friend or a family member. Somebody close to you can gift you that money. Keep that in mind. If you need help with down payment, you can get that as a gift. Closing costs are going to be 3 to 6% of the purchase price. Down payment and closing costs are two different things. Your down payment is the actual down payment you're putting towards the loan, showing your skin in the game. Your closing costs are going to be your title, third-party fees, things that we have no control over, your escrow account, your title insurance. If you have to get a survey, there's a lot of things that go on behind closed doors that we need to do, and those are going to be your closing costs. Your taxes. Sometimes we need to collect taxes up front. Your insurance. Sometimes we got to collect insurance up front for so many months. That's called an escrow account, guys. We need to collect these things so we can fund an escrow account. The lender is going to want to pay your taxes and insurance on your behalf because it ensures that it's getting paid. If you elect to not have an escrow account, some loan programs won't even let you do that. But if you're on a loan program that allows you to not have an escrow account, your interest rate is going to be higher because now you're a risk, you're a liability. So just keep that in mind. There's nothing wrong with escrow accounts. Get it set up. It's something you don't have to worry about. Pay your bills on time when you go under contract, okay? Once we get you under contract, you need to make sure you're still paying your bills. I had a borrower stop paying all their bills because I told them, look, you're under contract, don't spend no money. So they stopped paying their bills. And why would you do that? So pay your bills while you're under contract. After you find your house, you get approved, you're under contract, pay your bills on time. Don't make any large purchases. Don't run your credit for anything, nothing. Don't co-sign for anybody. Don't do anything. Just pay your bills and go to work and behave. All of these things can cause issues. We will repull your credit right before we close to see if you have any new inquiries or any new bills, and that can completely kill your deal. One thing I did forget to say about out-of-pocket expenses that I did forget to mention, and I'm sure that Tanika and Alexis are going to mention, EMD. That's something else. When you put an offer on a house, you're going to need to pay an earnest money deposit. That's going to be part of your out-of-pocket expenses, and that money is credited towards your closing costs and things like that. So EMD, be ready, because if you're serious about buying a house, you're going to have some cash. You're going to have to let them know, I'm serious. Here's some money. Here's my offer. I'm ready. When you guys put that offer in, put a respectable offer in. Put an offer in. If you were selling your house, you don't want nobody trying to lowball you. You still got to pay loans back. You still got to pay realtor fees. There's fees that you have to pay as a seller. So don't lowball these people. When you put an offer in, put in a strong offer that you're proud of. It's not always about getting a deal. You don't want to waste people's time, especially the real estate agent. Okay. Take your real estate agent's advice. Now, the documents that you're going to need. Okay. Once you come to me or a mortgage broker of your choice, then I'm going to go ahead and just claim me. There's going to be some things you'll need to do. You're going to fill out an application. We call that a 1003. The application is going to ask you all your business. We need to know all your business. So we're going to ask you for your social security number, your date of birth. We're going to need to know how long you've lived at your house, how long you've been on your job. We're going to need your full name. We're going to need all that information because we're about to lend you a lot of money. So we need to know who you are. So we're going to ask you for if you're a wage earner, if you're a W-2 employee, we're going to need to see your last 2 years W-2s. We're going to need to see your 2 most recent pay stubs. I'm going to need to see your 2 most recent bank statements for 2 months, and I need to see all the pages, even the one left blank intentionally. Nothing can be crossed out on the bank statement. Okay, you guys, I get people crossing stuff off. The whole point of me asking for the bank statements is I need to see what you're doing. So don't cross anything off. If you're working with banks like Chime or Cash App, I highly recommend you go open a bank account and you start using that bank account and depositing money into that bank account. We cannot wire funds from Chime. It's almost impossible to wire large amounts of money for a down payment on a house from these types of banks. So I need you guys to get bank accounts from actual depository institutions. Okay, anybody have any questions about that? All right, so if you're self-employed, we're going to need to see 2 years tax returns. If you have commission income, bonus income, we're also going to ask for tax returns on top of your W-2s because we need to average that out to see how much we can qualify you for the house. We're going to need to see your ID. If you're receiving government assistance, if you're Social Security, retirement, we need to see award letters. If you have any investment accounts, 401ks, anything like that, we're going to need to see your investment account statements. No, we're not going to ask you to clean your bank accounts out. No, we're not going to ask you to pull money from your 401k if we don't have to. But what that does is it shows the investor and the underwriters that you have money saved in case there's an emergency, in case you lose your job, you break your leg and you can't work. We can show them like, look, Tanika has reserves. Kimberly's been saving money. Jordan has 6 months worth of mortgage payments in his 401k. So if something happens, he can pull money. This is a good loan. It helps to make your loan look stronger. Those are typically the documents we need. If you're divorced or paying child support, we'll need to see those decrees as well. Okay, I'll speed it up. That's really the last thing I have is about new construction. If you go to a new build, you go to new construction, I need you to still hire a realtor. Don't necessarily use the realtor there at the new construction site. Hire your own real estate agent. They're going to help you a lot. They're going to be able to go through contracts with you. They're going to protect you from a lot of stuff. I'm not saying that the new construction people are bad people. I'm just saying that you need to hire a realtor because you need somebody that's on your side who's not biased towards that builder. I could keep talking. I have a lot of stuff to talk about. If you guys have any questions or you want to have a one-on-one with me, 844-405-2400. The loan process, you fill out the application, we collect your documents, we send everything to underwriting, you put in an offer on a property, you get the offer accepted, takes about 30 days to close, you get your keys, you get recorded, and then we'll release you back to the world where you can go shop and do whatever you like. Just be responsible. Don't run up too much debt trying to fix your house up and buy furniture and things like that. It was great speaking with y'all. You have any questions, text me. Thank you, ladies, for having me. And I'll wrap it up.
Yes, ma'am. Naisha has come and fed the people.
Thank you.
First quarter, we in there, y'all. First quarter, we in. Touchdown. We got our pre-approval. We brought all our bank statements. We got all of our bank statements. We have our tax returns for 2 years. My credit is above 620. Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. Touchdown. Score. I'm ready. Said bye. And listen, Naisha was dropping gems, and we're going to keep going because a lot of what she's talking about, and especially, the process of buying a home and when you're under contract, all of those things are very important. And what she said about hiring a knowledgeable realtor is important. Listen, this is probably the largest transaction you will make over your lifetime. Do not trust that to just anybody. Just like you want to shop the loans about your money, make sure that you ask questions about your realtor and not just that I saw you online and that I want to know, how well are you with negotiating? I want to know how knowledgeable you are about the different scenarios that can happen in real estate. Because let me tell you something, real estate is not a cookie cutter, one size fit all, type of scenarios. Naisha can attest to this. They've seen it all. Something that seems like a perfect transaction can turn crazy real quick. And you want somebody that is knowledgeable, quick on their feet, and knows what to do and is resourceful, because even if they can't, they know where to go. They know who to call. They know exactly what to do. That's who you want on your side. You want people like Tanika Henderson and Alexis Thomas out here cheering you on, coaching you through the plays, because your realtor and your lender, they are BFFs under that contract. Let me tell you, because we are both, I am taking the instructions from the lender, knowing everything what you need. I'm running the place with you. When we're negotiating and we're looking at that property that you're interested in, that you so in love with, I'm talking to your lender. Hey, this is what they're thinking about doing about the offer. Hey, this is what, let's talk game plan. So make sure you have people that are knowledgeable, like these ladies that are here on the live today. Okay, and put your questions in the chat. Don't be shy. Now listen, I get a lot of people that are nervous and they say, I'm scared to know what my credit is. I'm scared to, I don't even know where to start. Guess what? You in the chat, baby. We can't bite you in the chat. This is the place to get all your questions answered, honey. So you better come on in here and come and get fed. We dropping the knowledge. What was the question?
We do have another question. I think this is for Naisha, because we do have a
So your spouse does
10-second
not have
delay.
to go on the deed. However, Texas is a community property state. So just because they're not on the deed doesn't mean that they don't have rights to the property. There may be some paperwork depending on the loan type that your spouse will have to sign to not be on, the paperwork, but you still got to, that's a lawyer question. You still want to make sure, because this is a community property state, that, you have everything written up right. So the answer
and Jordan, are you asking about just on the loan or on the deed itself? Because I do get that question a lot about, especially with people that are separated. I don't have nothing to do with how you do what you do, but I have had that question before about, do they have to be on my loan? Does what they have going on have to be considered? Is that what would be your answer to that, Naisha?
with some loans, we will take the spouse's debt and add them to your debt. With some loans, we have to. So it just depends on the loan type. And then some people will not disclose that they're married, and we find that out later on, and it becomes an issue. So with FHA loans, for example, even if you don't put your spouse, and this is in certain states, even if you don't put your spouse on the loan, we'll still look at their debt and use it against your debt. So just depends on your state. But you want to have your spouse on the loan. That's your man. That's your spouse.
Yeah. But you know what? Speaking of that, because I've had that happen a couple times, y'all. Listen, let's get let me get closer. Listen to me. I'm gonna tell you something. You can play games with a whole lot of people. You can conceal a whole lot of information. But when it comes down to this particular process, this is not where we lie. This is not where we withhold. The last thing you want to do is have money on the line, under contract, almost to the table. And bam, Naisha come back and say, you married? You had a bank account? That's a hard call.
You own other properties.
You own other what?
Free and clear. Yeah, but they still got tax bills that I got to calculate against your DTI. So you need to tell me everything so I can help you get around stuff if need be. Tell me everything. I'm on your side.
You have to listen. This is almost like going in to see your therapist. Just lay on the couch and let it be. She got to know about all of your money woes. What about if the husband owes child support? I had that too. We need another husband.
I mean, we're gonna see it. We're gonna find it. Like it's gonna be. If that can be a lien against the property, we need to look and make sure we're protecting our assets. So it depends. It just how big is the judgment? Is he behind? Is he being responsible? Is he making payments? Did you disclose that up front? Like, we need to know these things. We need to know these things. I've had people had car liens attached to the properties that, just be honest with us about everything so we can figure out, okay, maybe we need to do this conventional loan, because conventional is a little more easy to get these things by on, student loan debt, like just the calculation on that. There's so many different things that we can be creative with conventional loans. But when we start dealing with FHA loans and VA loans, our hands are tied. So if your credit is really good and you're doing what you're supposed to do and you have low debt to income, you can get around a lot of that stuff with conventional financing.
but be honest up front, because at the end of the day, um, you know, the goal is to find a game plan to get you there, to get you to your goal. It's not to say that it's never can happen, but you have to start somewhere. And again, this is not a process, because I don't care how slick you think you are, they find it. And I've seen hearts be broken. And I don't want that for anybody that I do business with, because that is just a hard pill to swallow. So, like I said, you can lie about a whole lot of stuff. Well, let me not say. Let me see. We would say we weren't allowed to say lie. You can story.
Yeah, tell.
You can tell tales about a lot of things, but
Storyteller.
not to your lender.
Yeah.
Okay? So let's let Alexis take us in. We've scored. We've touched down. We've done the things. And now Alexis is going to tell us what we do once Naisha has
Yes.
blessed us and said, here is your pre-approval. And wait. Alexis, can you tell us the difference between
You've
a
been
pre-approval
pre-approved.
and a pre-qualification? Okay.
Um,
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, I just wanted to know,
I'm
because
sorry, I was prepared
we
for
ain't
my
going shopping with
segment.
you if I don't know.
Yeah, well, you want to do a pre-approval versus a pre-qualification. You can really shop, actually put your offer in with your pre-approval. Sellers like to see that.
Let's go.
And with that being said, we're going to move on to the second quarter. Yes, let's have a few images for y'all. And really, Tanika kind of really covered the next step is hiring a realtor. I know a lot of people probably talk to a realtor before they talk to a lender or put in their mortgage application. But if you haven't and you went and got your pre-approval first, you definitely want to get with a realtor. Like she was saying, you want someone that's very knowledgeable about the home buying process and in the market areas. And then also you want someone that's very responsive. So communication is key. Are they, you know, answering your phone calls, emails, and texts? And do they listen to you well? Do you understand them? Do they understand you? And another thing I feel like people don't consider is compatibility. So your realtor can be very knowledgeable and have great communication skills, but do you feel like a connection with them, right? Is it someone you can like relate to? Not necessarily relate to, but just someone that if you're going through this process, it can be very emotional. And you might have times where you want to like throw in the towel and maybe give up. Is your realtor someone you can like, confide in and help motivate you and, stay on the same page with you? So that's something you might want to consider as well when you're hiring a realtor. Um, Also, when you hire a realtor, I have a few documents that I want to show you guys. So there's two documents that every realtor is going to ask you to sign, no matter what state you're in or what broker you're with. It's going to be the IABS, information about broker services. This is simply a disclosure letting you know everyone's role in a real estate transaction. And then also what duties we are obligated legally to provide you, and then information about the actual broker themselves that's over us as agents, if the agent themselves is not a broker. Okay, and then the other document is going to be, let me pull it up here for you guys. It's going to be your buyer broker representation agreement. It's going to look a little different depending on the agent and what state you're in, but it's going to be some variation of this document. And it's going to basically highlight things like the length of the agreement, how long it's for. It's also going to establish whether this is an exclusive agreement or not. You can work with multiple agents, but it is recommended for the best experience to work exclusively with one agent. But if you do want to work with multiple agents, you can. You just need to make sure the agent knows that you're working with other agents. And then the other hot topic is the broker fee. So, how much does it cost to have a realtor? Now, there's no set rate. Everything is fully negotiable when it comes to this. But this is definitely a conversation you would have with your realtor prior to signing it, okay? And it's also going to explain how it gets paid out. So, most of the times, as realtors, we negotiate this fee to be covered from the seller. In the event that it's not covered by them, or only a percentage of it's not covered by them, then that um, that remaining balance would fall on you, and that would be due at closing. Now, to get around that, there is a part where you can give special instructions to us where we do not show homes that does not cover your broker fee or a certain percentage of it. So if you're really worried about, because buying a home can be very costly. So if you really want to, make sure you're not going to be surprised with any, big bills towards the end, we can go ahead and put this in the agreement that you will only be shown homes where compensation, your broker fees will be compensated. And then the other thing to remember, there's a lot of things in this agreement, but the other thing I want people to remember is this can be canceled at any time. It can be canceled at any time, but not if you're under contract. If you're already under contract with a property, then you kind of got to go ahead and see that through. Um, but if you're not under contract with a property, you've been working with someone and you're just not feeling it, or you want to, stop the process, you can cancel at any time. You just need to give written notice. Okay? And this could be from either party. Okay. Let me take that down. And Tanika or Naisha, let me know. I don't have the chat pulled up, so if someone's asking questions, let me know. Okay, so you've hired your realtor, you've got your pre-approval, and now it's time to start looking for your home. Well, I want you guys to really have a clear understanding of what it is you're looking for. Your wants and your needs, deal breakers, must-haves, um, and really ask yourself, what are my plans for this home? If you plan to only stay in it a few years and then rent it out and then or maybe pull equity against it, or is this going to be your forever home? Is something you want to be able to grow into? And then keep in mind priorities. If you don't have kids, then maybe school ratings aren't important to you. So, just kind of have a really a clear understanding of what it is that you're looking to purchase and what's important. And then share that information with your realtor. So now that you know what it is that you're looking for and you have the funds to secure it, um, what what are you guys using to search for homes? Can y'all drop it in the chat? What are you guys using? So I'm pretty sure everyone's going to say Zillow. So yeah, just comment below what platform you guys typically use when you're looking for a home. Most of the platforms you're going to use is part of the local MLS. Since most of you guys are from Houston, that would be like hard.com if you guys are using that as well. Another place you could search for homes with your realtor would be off market properties. Yeah, Zillow, Hard. Off market properties is another resource that your realtor could provide to you for you to get a little bit more inventory. And then new construction is also another option because a lot of times new construction might not be available online. You just got to go to the builder site and then check out their inventory. Redfin, Zillow, okay. And your realtor looks for you, okay. Okay, and then Another tool that I want to provide for you guys when you're searching for a home is for the ones that are looking in Houston and surrounding areas. Also, HAR it covers Austin, San Antonio, parts of Dallas as well. But this QR code here is the myheart.com app. And so you're going to get premium content, like it says. You're going to get more access about information on the properties that you're looking at versus what's on the regular har.com. So if y'all want to take a moment to scan this and download this app, I find it to be more accurate and than Zillow or homes.com or something like that. This gets updated more frequently. And also, compared to Zillow, um, remember on Zillow, anyone can post on Zillow. So that means non-licensed people can post on Zillow. So you could do what you want with that information. But on Heart, it's only going to be um, realtors posting on there. And they do a pretty good job about keeping it updated with the statuses and everything. So I'll leave that up for a few seconds if y'all want to scan that. If you're on your mobile device, you can touch down, hold down the QR code, and it should pop up the link. Okay. So you went out and you've seen the house, you went and looked at several houses, and now you decided that you want to move forward with putting in an offer. So before you submit that offer, I want you guys to do research on that property. You want to do as much research as possible to reduce risk. And you're gonna have three people that's help you with your research. It's gonna be your realtor, an insurance agent, and your mortgage lender. You want to send the property that you plan to put an offer on, you want to send it to the mortgage lender because you're gonna want to get new numbers. When I say new numbers, every house might have different tax rate. It might have different HOA costs or no HOA, and these things can affect your monthly payment and closing costs. And yeah, you want to get some fresh numbers from your lender on that property. You want to contact the insurance agent, send them the house as well, because an insurance agent is going to be able to, of course, give quotes, but they're also going to be able to see if there's any claims that's been on the home. This could also help reduce a lot of risk ahead of time before you even submit the offer. They can check if it's ever been flooded, or maybe the home is uninsurable. Some homes can't get insurance, or the insurance might be really high, and this also can affect your monthly payments as well. So send the property to the insurance agent to do some research, and then of course your realtor will know the property you're interested in. But what your realtor should be doing before submitting an offer is doing a CMA, looking at the tax records, looking at the seller's disclosure. Um, Basically, want to find out as much about the house as possible before even submitting an offer. So you can really know what you're, walking into before you even bother with an offer. And then let me see here. Any questions so far? Do student loans affect you from being able to buy a house?
Student
Nisha,
loans
can we
can affect your
get
ability to buy a
get an answer
home.
for that in the
When I
chat?
pull someone's credit and I see they have student loans, I have to look and see the way the student loans are being reported, and that's how I determine how to help them with that. There's ways around it. Student loans can affect you, but there's ways around the hit being so hard. I can't really say so much on this, public reported, platform here, but there's ways around student loans. I've had people with $500,000 in student loans because they were doctors and their kids were going to school to be doctors. And some people will go out and get an income-based repayment plan that's lower, than the actual student loan payment, which will help their debt to income ratios. So there's ways to get around student loan debt, but I would need to see how yours is reporting, how much is reporting, and if we can get that reporting lower. So yeah, there's ways around it, but it's not a deal breaker. That's another misconception.
Thank you. So yeah, back to making your offer. Um, okay, so the research come back and it looks like, this is still a good home to put an offer in, right? So you want to make an offer that makes it to closing. So you want to make a winning offer. And there are going to be three factors that determine the type of offer you make. The market, and when I say market, I don't mean in general, I mean where that house is, what market area it's in. Motivation, so your motivation, how much do you really like this house? Do you really love it? Can you see yourself living in it? Is it checking most of your boxes? You know, just how badly you want that house. And then the third factor is going to be money. Um, how much of that you have to, really secure the offer, so to speak. So, and I'm going to elaborate on the market because that's really the biggest thing when you're putting in your offer, right? Um, there's the seller's market, a balanced market, and a buyer's market. In a seller's market, we basically have more buyers than we have inventory. And when I say inventory, I mean homes that's been on the market less than 5 months. And then a balanced market, we have a good amount of buyers and a good amount of sellers. And so that inventory is usually right at 6 months. And then anything over 6 months, if a home is on the market um, longer than 6 months, then we've entered into a buyer's market where we now have more homes than we have buyers. And so if you are making an offer in a seller's market, you're more than likely going to come across a multi-offer situation, right? Because there's more buyers and there's less houses to make offers on. So you're going to be up against other buyers. And so in that scenario, you would want to put in an offer that's, mm, you want to put in a very appealing offer because the seller right now would have the upper hand. And so as a buyer, if you didn't have a lot of money, um, you could put in an offer that, uh, trade the money for time. So if you don't have a lot of money to outbid someone, you could reduce your closing time. You could reduce your option days. You could even do a lease back. That might be very appealing to the seller versus someone that's just offering more money. Um, and then if you're in a buyer's market, you can. I'm not saying do like a lowball offer because you're in a buyer's market, but don't be afraid to ask for uh, contributions and have some contingencies in there. And vice versa with the seller market, you want to reduce contingencies and reduce contribution if that's the only cards you have to play and you're up against other offers or yeah. And then a great agent will work with your lender for options to negotiate to make, yeah, thank you, yep. And then, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, everyone's offer is going to vary depending on the market you're in and your motivation and the amount of funds you have to work with. Any questions so far? I can't see the chat. Hold on. Yeah, so any questions about basically what I just covered is pre-contract. So you got your pre-approval, you went shopping for a home, you submitted your offer, and then in the third quarter, Tanika's going to let us know if the offer was accepted and what to do after that. I think this is about financing, Aisha. About some
So
inconsistent
what would
work,
happen
maybe.
is if
It looks
you
like she's
have,
saying. Is it 1099 work? Is it like contract work?
I'm just rereading the question.
I know it's
So what's going
a
on is
slight
there, it
delay.
looks like they work different places. Maybe they're working maybe from an agency and the agency sends them to different jobs. Is Nick, is that what's going on? You have an agency and they send you from one job to another? We just need to see 2 years of your employment history. We're going to reach out. They are on for so many months and then off. Is it with the same agency? Because we need to see 2 years of steady work history. And the only time we're able to have like any type of like extenuating circumstance with that is like teachers. They don't work in the summertime. So there are times where we can, like a seasonal worker. There are times where we can show that, yeah, this person is off, but they're still working. They're just off season. So I would need to see more information on that. Is it the same employer? Are you working for an agency? Or is it the same line of work? Like I have so many questions. Refineries near the ship channel. Okay. So, and it's for the same employer, right? Same employer? No, not the same agency. So, okay. So this is the type of thing I deal with when I'm working with traveling
No,
nurses
not the
because
same
they go to
agency.
different agencies and they have different employers and they're working off and on. I need to see the whole picture. I need to see how long are the typical gaps. Are they at 2 weeks? Are they a month? I need to see how long the gaps of employment are. And it's in the same industry, so that's a good thing. But I need to know how long are they not working? How long are they out of work? And as far as the documents you need to get pre-approved, if you are a W-2 employee, no different. Ugh. So it's different jobs. It's different jobs every 2 to 3 months or something like that. Do me a favor. Your situation is unique. Can you please call the 844-405-2400 number? And you'll want to speak with Richard or David, and they can help you. They're very advanced loan officers. They've been doing this for over 20 years, and they'll be able to help structure something for you that can possibly get you approved. But I need more information. They'll be able to assist you with that because you have a one-off situation. So we need to give you some special attention for that. If you want to get approved, what documents do you need? You're going to need, if you're a W-2 employee, you're going to need 2 years W-2s. You're going to need 2 recent pay stubs. You're going to need your copy of your ID and 2 months bank statements. That's what we're going to need to get you started. And if you have any other investment accounts, if you have any income from any type of retirement, Social Security will need your award letters. But those are the documents you'll need to get started. And then the application link, Alexis has the application link. She can send that to you so you can get started on your application. Any other mortgage questions? I don't want to steal the light, but people be wanting to know about the money. They want to know about the money.
The people want to know about the money, and I want them to know about the money.
I'd like to share a quick story if y'all don't mind.
Sure.
So my grandmother and my grandfather bought their home in the 1940s and 1950s. They bought it for $47,000. Thank you so much, Nick. They bought the home for $47,000. Okay. They had to buy the house as, are there loans for owner occupied properties, for example? Yeah. Yeah. The duplexes and fourplexes are the best. We love those. You can even get down payment assistance on the duplex. Hey, down payment assistance on the duplex. You can get up to 4 units on a residential loan. And we will use the projected rental income from those other 3 properties to get you approved to help you with your income. And you just need to stay in the property for 6 months and then you can move out of it legally. So yes, Adrian, Adrian. So back to my story. My grandparents weren't. They moved into a neighborhood where FHA did not allow Black people to buy houses. So my grandparents were pastors. They could pass for white people because they were born on plantations, and my grandmother's father was the plantation owner. So she bought her home as a white woman for $47,000. Okay. She sold. She said when she died, she had a living trust will this thick, and she said when she died, she sold a house. Everybody tell you don't sell grandma's house. Grandma's house sold for 1.1 million cash. Okay, cash. Do you think when she bought this $47,000 starter home, did she really think that she was going to be able to bless her grandkids and her great grandkids with this much abundance and wealth? Probably not. So when you guys are investing in these properties, you're not just doing it for you. My children are little privileged children now because their great grandmother blessed them with equity. That's back to the word equity. You're not just buying this house so you can make a profit or you can save on your taxes for a year or two from now. This is for your grandchildren. This is for your great grandchildren. This is for your nieces and your nephews. This investment is for your future. The house I live in now is because of my grandmother's investments. My dad took that money, passed it around, as she said to pass it around. He bought a house in Vegas for $365,000. COVID hit. We had to leave Vegas because it wasn't the place to be. He sold the house 2 years later for $595,000. Okay, this is us flipping grandma's money. Okay, we flip grandma's money. They say don't sell grandma's house. We flip grandma's house. Okay, then he turned around and put $110,000 down on my house, and now my $550,000 house is worth $900,000. So grandma's money is moving. So this house here will be left to my grandkids and my great grandkids. You guys aren't making this investment just for yourselves. It's for your future. And what happens after you buy a house, the number one thing I see happens is people's mindset shifts. Now you have this mindset, well, I can buy a house. I can buy more property. I can get married. I can have children. I can open a business. You elevate mentally. It's crazy the elevation that takes place once you become a homeowner. I was on Section 8 and welfare 6 years ago. Do y'all hear me? I had a Section 8, a 400 credit score. My rent was $25 a month. I had a 2-bedroom, 1-bath condo in a very good area because I wanted my kids to go to a good school district. Okay. And now I own a beautiful home. I own 3 businesses. My mindset shifted when I bought my house. I opened this business after I bought my house. If I can do it, if you guys take me as bragging, then that's your problem. This is my testimony. This is what happens when you invest in real estate. Everything can change. Your life can change. I'm just waiting on this husband. Now I know God is preparing him for me, but he's going to have to be real special because I ain't putting up with no BS. Yes, we started. So just know when you guys make this investment, it's not for just you. It's for your babies. Do it for them. My son is on this mortgage. I got 3 generations on my title. The gentleman asking about deeds and titles, I got 3 generations on my deeds and titles. 3. It takes a village, baby.
You better say it. And that's the story for a lot of us. You understand? There are so many people with that same testimony, and it does. I'm so glad you said that and touched on that because home ownership really does cause a mind shift. Like it changes things. It literally does. So when we're talking to you, and the whole point of being on this Ready Set Buy is because we have been affected by something that blessed us and we want to share it with other people. Sure, this is our profession and it's a way of making money, but we are also being blessed and able to teach you, show you the way, and share our own testimony so that you can understand that it is doable. People are doing it. And like I said, it is a mind shift because I know there's a lot of people online. You know, everybody online, everybody with a microphone, got something to say. They know everything. And they're like, oh, you don't have to buy. Those people tell you that and about the rate and this and that. Listen, we are talking about something that has the potential to change the trajectory of not just your life. We're talking about generations down. That's something that her grandmother, and just think about this, what it took to buy a home for her grandmother, because it was not easy. Okay. So that she made an investment and it has paid huge dividends. She couldn't give her that amount of money. She invested in something and let that money make money, and it is continuing to grow. It is continuing to bless the people that her grandmother loved. You see what I'm saying? And it's going to continue to go. So I'm so glad you said that, because that is one of the things that I often share with a lot of people. Like I said, they're often just a little afraid, or their situations and they're not just really sure. But I'm so glad that you shared that testimony to let them know, because I know there are people in the chat. Tell me in the chat if you perfect, Patty. Just say perfect. Put perfect in the chat, because if you so perfect, come on with that 700, 800 credit score. Let's just go ahead and get it done, because you perfect. But let's be real. And here on this channel with Tanika, we're going to get real. So I appreciate you sharing that, Naisha, because that is huge.
And my credit was trash. My dad added me to all his credit cards. Then I added my son to all my credit cards. Once he built my credit, this is generational wealth. Then once I had my credit together, I got me some credit cards. I put my kids on my credit cards. They turn 18 with great credit scores. So that is generational wealth. Add your kids to your credit cards. When you add those kids to your credit cards, you're going to pay them credit card bills on time. It's different now, because it's not just you. It's the babies that you're affecting. So put them on there at 15, and when they turn 18, watch those scores. Watch them.
Don't make me go to church on y'all.
We in church.
Because I'm a little heathen. But I do know the Bible says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. And that's why we are here today. We are here to give you the knowledge and the information so that you can win. That's what it's all about. You can't do something if you've never been exposed to it. You have no idea. You're not sure where to go, who to ask. And you here today. And we told you who to call. We told you what to do. Y'all ready? Y'all quiet in this chat. Y'all quiet in this chat. Y'all quiet in this chat. I don't hear you. You already know what it is when you come to Tanika's Live. Let's get ready to rumble. So Alexis has shared all about, what the process is like. You're working you've gotten your pre-approval from Naisha. And you're getting to Alexis, and you're like, Alexis, I really like this house. This is the one. My husband and I, we walked through it, and I could see all my babies just growing up in here. And over here, I could see us having Thanksgiving dinner. And back there, I could see my husband grilling up some big, juicy steaks. Alexis, this is the one. Y'all know I'm dramatic. So y'all better start talking in the chat. It's going to be a dramatization. So that's amazing. And as I put in the chat that, that communication, like I said, your team includes your realtor and your lender. When she's making that offer, first thing I'm doing, I'm on the phone with the lender. Hey, she like this one. She say this the one, Naisha. Run me some numbers. Let's see what we're looking at. We want to make sure we make a solid offer. And I want to share something with y'all. I'm going to share something with y'all that I typically, when I'm working with a seller, that I will show them whenever we get offers. And see here. Can y'all see what I'm putting down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is like a net sheet that I give to my sellers. And so I want to talk about this because we're talking about putting offers on a home. And listen, there's so much, so many HGTV shows, so many, people on TikTok, people on YouTube, everywhere. And they're like, and so sometimes I get a buyer and they're like, no, I want to put the lowest offer. Or I want to put, and I want you to see the makeup of an offer and how I'm looking at it as the listing agent, when I'm sitting there with, so this is how you want to think about how you're putting together that offer. And let me tell you something. Just because you have the highest offer don't mean it's the best offer either. It's, there's many factors to it. So you see in here that I'm looking at what was the offer, what kind of financing they have. You know, I'm going to call your lender because I want to know, is it shaky? You know, so you want to be solid when you're making these offers. Earnest money. Earnest money. Let's talk about earnest money. What is earnest money? As Naisha mentioned earlier, earnest money is the good faith money that you put towards. So when I say I want to put an offer on a house, I two things that I want to offer. I want to put some earnest money, and this is saying that, hey, I'm serious. I want to buy your house. I like this house. I'm a strong buy. I want to buy your house. So I'm putting it here. How much did they offer for earnest money? Because if this person had 2750, but this person had 500, which one you think my seller probably going to be looking at? Because they're gonna be like, she don't really have no skin in the game. Because that earnest money is not money you're just giving away to the seller. It has dual purposes. Number one, it's saying that I'm serious. I want to buy your house. I got some money. I'm going to put this up. I'm going to put this on the table in escrow with the title company to say, hold this because I'm for real. I want to buy this house. The other thing is that money gets settled at the end in the closing. So it's not like it went away. It's still going towards the house, but it's just a good faith that, hey, I got some money and I'm for real. I want to buy your house. I got some skin in the game. This is what I'm offering. And now we're going to talk a little bit about that contract and what can happen to that money, but that's important. The option fee, an option. An option is important because this is money in the contract. In your contract, you're saying, I want the option to back out of this contract for any reason. It could be for anything. I could have woke up this morning and Lord told me, girl, no, whatever. So you would set in that contract an option period. You might say 5 days, 7 days. These are the things that your agent is going to talk to you about as you're putting together your offer, because all of this is a part of an offer, right? In that option period, they also call it your due diligence period. What do I mean by due diligence? This is where, because again, you have the option to back out for any reason. We're going to go ahead and do our home inspection. So we're never buying a house with Tanika and we're not doing an inspection. That is your protection. You want to know what is behind those walls. You want to know, is this foundation good? What's going on with that roof up there? You want that home to be checked out. You want somebody to give it a good health check, and you want to do it in that option period so that let's say you find out that they didn't disclose that this home had flooded before and they didn't properly mitigate the mold, and the inspector has found signs of mold. Do you want to deal with mold and having to deal with all of that? You might say, no, that's a deal breaker for me. And that option period, that money that you've offered as an option, allows you to back out of it. So that money, and you can have different variance amounts. Some people may charge $50 a day, $100 a day. It depends. Everything is negotiable, as you can see here. These lines, nothing is fixed. If you look on a contract, those lines are blank. You fill them in. So everything is negotiable. But in your option, you're saying, hey, I'll give you $200 for 5 days to back out of this contract for any reason. And in that time, if I find something or if I don't like it, I can back out, get my earnest money back, and you keep that 200. But I got to see what was behind the walls and I decided I don't want it. So you want to put in an option. You want to give yourself a good amount of time to really be able to think through that and sleep on it. And also to get your inspector out there first thing so that you can take a look at this house and see what I have here for the option period. So as the seller, they're going to look at, okay, well, this one only needs this amount of days. This one wants longer, because that means for the seller how long my house is off the market while you trying to decide. Those things are important. So when we're putting together offer, this is why you want a knowledgeable real estate agent. You don't want somebody that just do the pictures with the arms folded. No, ma'am. You want somebody that knows what they're talking about, knows what they're doing, and they can really get in here and they know how to craft and negotiate a real good deal, right? So Then we're looking at are there any contingencies? What are contingencies? Contingencies are things like I got to sell my other house before I can buy your house. Well, I need to think about that. So that's all a part of your offer. How much down payment? So this is what Nice was talking about in that loan. Okay, so this probably is an FHA loan, but this person sounds like they're probably doing some other type of loan where they're giving like 20% or 10% down, right? Um, when are they expecting to close? Who are they wanting to pay for the title policy? Title policy is opening that title so that they can check in the history of that property and make sure that you can buy it and there's no liens or anything, any judgments or things against it. So all of this is a part of that offer, and that's important. And I know it's overwhelming and it's a lot of information, but that's why you hire an agent. Don't let these people out here tell you don't need to hire nobody. They want you could do that on your own. You could. I could probably build a house. They got YouTube videos for everything. But am I? No. So make sure that whoever you have and you're working with, they are knowledgeable. They know and they are responsive, right? Because once we are under contract, you have a duty. You have agreed to do certain actions within a certain amount of time. And if you don't act, there are penalties and they can cost you big time. So you want an agent that's making sure they keeping on top of those timelines, baby, like the rent due. You understand? I mean, I send my buyer as soon as we go into contract. I'm highlighting, I'm giving you everything right up front. What are those key dates? Everything out of that contract. I'm sending reminders. I'm calling you. You want an agent that's responsive. They get on that phone. They're checking. They're making sure they're checking in with your lender. They're keeping on top of all of these dates because, again, there's a lot of money at stake. And you don't want anybody playing with your money, because this is serious. So make sure that you have somebody that's knowledgeable, that goes in there, they go to bat for you, they know how to negotiate for you, they know all the tips and the tricks, and they're going to work with your lender. To them, the two of them together is going to make it happen. They're going to score that touchdown, honey. So who has questions? Yo, who has questions about being under contract? Who has had anything happen to them while they was under contract, or just some of the pitfalls that happen? Because once you go under contract, like I said, there is so much happening at that time. There are so many moving parts. You have the underwriters over there, they're running, doing all their checks and making sure, and they're asking you for information. And again, during this time, as Naisha said, you follow everything she told you to do. You don't buy nothing. You don't move. You don't change your job. I don't care if your boss got in your face and said, you just zip it until we get to that closing table. Then you can tell them to kiss every blackest part of you. Okay? But until then, you stay clear. You watch for those emails. Whatever they ask you for, you get it to them. I mean, lickety split. You get it to them ASAP, because time is of the essence. And remember, we under contract. We told these people we were going to close by a certain date. We told these people we were going to do certain things by a certain time. And if we don't, we lose our money. And not only that, we lose hope, because that's devastating to be under contract and to be so close. And something like, because I didn't get my check stubs in on time, or, something so minuscule is the reason. So don't let that be the reason. But make sure you got somebody knowledgeable. Make sure you call somebody like Tanika. Make sure you call somebody like Alexis that knows what they're doing. Make sure you call a lender like Naisha, because let me tell you something. I've had some on both sides. I've had some lenders kill some deals because they weren't very knowledgeable. Make sure these people know what they're talking about and what they're doing. And if you're not sure, and even if you're in another state, call me. Call Alexis. We'll tell you, because I'm a grill. And I have referrals to lender partners such as Naisha. That's why we have her here, because we're only going to work with those people that have a proven track record of knowing what they're doing, being resourceful, being able to really work their way through any type of scenario. Sometimes they have to get creative, and you want somebody that has that knowledge and experience. They're not afraid, because sometimes it happens that way. And the ultimate goal is to get you to that finish line so you can score. Okay? So, do we have any questions in the chat? Anything? Yeah, I know I just went like over a whole lot of stuff, but that's
Yeah,
just
it's
being
a
under
lot of
contract.
information. So
It's a lot of information, and I would love to be able to, talk to you guys more about it. And of course, if you want to consult with either one of us,
yeah,
all of
one
our
on one.
information, we'll be sharing that in the chat. And for those of you have shameless plug, for those of you that have joined from Homegirls Guide to Real Estate YouTube channel, I drop all the tea every Tuesday, sharing this same type of information, letting you know exactly what it is. Because again, I want to arm you with the knowledge and the information. I want you to go into it, not just your agent and your lender being knowledgeable. I want you to be knowledgeable too. I don't want you to have buyer's remorse when you get in, like, man, I should have asked or I should have did. No, no, no. We BFFs. We BFFs. We go together real bad. Real bad. Real bad. So, everything, like I said, it's a journey, but it's not scary. Um, Especially when you
Yes.
have people that are there and willing to walk with you along the way. Definitely don't do this alone. Definitely ask all the questions. Definitely be honest and upfront, you know, with your lender
Hmm.
so that they can set you up to win, and with your agent, with both of them, because we only want to see you win. And we can't help you to win if there's things about you that we don't know or things that are being
Yeah, we
concealed.
all want
So
to be on the
definitely,
same
we
page.
definitely want to be on the same page, but we definitely want to make sure that you know everything there is to know about this decision that you're making. Because like I said, this is probably one of the highest transaction you will ever have in your life. And
Hmm.
this decision to become a homeowner impacts more than just you, impacts your family. And so when you're thinking about this and you're like, because I know sometimes it's real easy to kind of feel overwhelmed and just be like, girl, you know what, I'll just stay. I can't. She want me to. She told me I need to pay this for 3 months, and then I gotta. I'll just stay. Listen, it's more than about you. It's bigger than you.
Yes. And Tanika, before you cover, because you're gonna cover closing day, right? Um,
Hmm.
I'm gonna add Dolores from KB Home. She's gonna pop on real quick. Uh,
Sure.
let's
Oh,
welcome
let me
her.
tell you.
Yes.
Now, there's a tip. As when we're negotiating, sometimes for my buyers, going to new construction might help you just because of the fact that they're able to give you a lot of great incentives and different things that you might not be able to get from a private seller. So don't sleep
Yeah.
on the new
Also, with new
construction.
construction, there's not so much of an attachment, like an emotional attachment with sellers, so that does help out. Um, but yeah, give me 1 second.
Let's
Have
welcome
her popping on here.
Dolores. Ooh, y'all ready to win?
Oh, give me 1 second. Let me see.
Sure thing. So while we're waiting on Dolores, do we have any other questions?
Sorry.
Who's trying to be in the home for the holidays, honey? I want to go to somebody's house for Christmas.
Oh, okay. She having technical difficulties. Sorry.
No worries. In the
But
chat,
yeah,
who's ready? Who's ready? Y'all ready? We ready. Who's in the chat? Say something to me. I want to know who's ready to move for the holidays. Who's been thinking about it? Just been
and
a little
and
nervous.
and you probably won't have a payment for the first probably 30, 60 days when you buy a house. That's another thing about the holidays. If you're not trying to save a little money for Christmas, you start the process now, you probably won't have a mortgage payment till January. So yeah, you have 2 months most of the time, depending on when we close. You have about 2 months before you have your first mortgage payment.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
hmm
Razzle dazzle.
and on how long?
Okay.
Speaking of that, how long
Chancy
does
says ready.
pre-approval typically last?
Pre-approval
'Cause
is
I know
good for
people ask me
120
that.
days, but I'm not sitting on a pre-approval for 120 days. I'm looking at income documents and stuff every 30 days because things change, and I just don't want to set nobody up for failure.
Yeah.
For sure.
at 120 days.
So Chancey says, ready. Come on, let's go. And I still don't know who raised the baby alive, who baby put.
We're working with her. Alexis sent her over
Yes.
already, and we're getting the game
Oh, we're getting it
together.
together. For them.
Mhm.
For them babies. So, and when you close, I'll show up. Yay.
What's the pom pom?
I bring bottles. I bring really nice, big, expensive bottles. I'm a bottle bringer, so I'll be there too. And I don't even drink. This is water. Just so y'all know, I got my red cup, but I chew. I'm an ice chewer. So, but I do bring bottles to close them. Do we have any other questions? Anything that you guys are confused about? Anything that you need us to re-clarify? Because like it was a lot of information.
Let's see what we have in the chat. Okay.
Anybody need the links again? I know earlier we had the hard.com app, and then we had the the mortgage application link. Anybody want to get started with that?
Okay, Narika. Did I say it right, Narika? Yes, indeed. So do we have, look like someone just popped up. Was that Dolores? Are we still having technical difficulties?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have anybody in the chat that has maybe bought before and now they're looking like to move up? That's where I'm at right now. I think I want to chronicle that journey because I'm like, oh my God, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm ready for some investment properties. My baby turned 18 and he said that he didn't want to go to college. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't want to go to college? He says, I just want to take my college money and invest it in a 4-unit community. And I said, oh, you know. And then he had his phone up and he had properties on his phone. And he was looking, he was like, how much can I make off of this if I do this? And I'm like, baby, it's not going to be quick cash. Like, you know, he trades online. He does binary Forex trading and all that. I'm like, you're not going to make money in minutes on real estate, but it'll be a good retirement plan. So let's go. Get your kids ready. If you're not ready, get a cousin.
I love Gen Z. They are not afraid. They are risk takers. They are knowledgeable and they are risk, because sometimes I go, why didn't I think of that at that time? I think that they see us and they see us forging ahead and the moves that we're making. They're like, oh, mama doing that? Daddy doing that? Yeah, I'm doing it too. Bigger and better. So yeah, for sure. I love that. I love that your child is thinking ahead and thinking of, other ways, to secure his future. So I think that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, he's not wasting money like my oldest.
I know a lot of people are interested in the duplex and the quadplex right
Let's see
now.
what we got a question here.
So people think they're not credit ready, but how do you know what we're looking at? Like, you need to do an application, Kimberly. You need to do an application, and we'll tell you what you need to do with your credit, if anything. If to boost your credit instantly, see if a family member can add you to their credit card as an authorized user. And it has to be a good credit line that has a very low payment that they've never been late on. That was the cheat code that I used in my family. So that's a good way to boost your credit instantly. But you need to do an application and let me see what's on your credit, because you may be surprised. A lot of people like, my credit is bad, I won't qualify, and then they're in the house in 30 days.
So I was one of them. That was definitely my story. I thought, I was like, oh no, my credit. And I took a chance and went to a broker, and he was like, yeah, you're ready now. Yeah. I said, oh, me?
She said quick and dirty tips. We can't talk about that online, Mama. You got to call me.
Yeah, you got to call for that.
Quick and dirty. I like you, Kimberly.
And that's why having people that are knowledgeable
We keep it clean. I like having a broker's license. My stomach is too big and my butt is too flat to strip. So we're going to keep it clean.
Okay.
But I'll tell you legally and compliantly what you can't do. I keep it clean. I'm a square when it comes to this life, a real square. Because this mortgage fraud is a real thing. And it's not just me that gets in trouble. It's the realtor, the lender, and the clients. Yeah, everybody goes down. So
Yeah, and I fight.
Occupancy fraud is one of the biggest things. People will say
It
they're buying a
is.
house to live in, and then they use it as an investment property. Like
Ooh.
they gonna find out. Like my grandma had a reverse mortgage, and when she passed away, I called the reverse mortgage company to let them know, and they were like, "Yeah, we already know." I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Whoa, how did you know?" These people know. So don't yeah, we gonna talk, Kimberly. I'm available tomorrow all day. You can hit me up.
Yeah, y'all
Yeah,
get that
that's some
pre-approval. Let's
great
go shopping this weekend. The weather
questions.
been
Yeah.
nice. Honey, let's go.
And you don't want to wait for rates to drop, because when rates drop, everybody's going to be trying to buy that same house. You want to do it now while rates are fair. People think rates are high right now. Rates were high when I started in this industry at 13%. If you want rates to drop again to 2 and 3%, that means Russia going to invade us. That means we'll have another pandemic. We don't want hundreds of thousands of people to die so that we can have lower interest rates. Okay? So just take advantage right now of the market while you don't have to fight for the house.
And that's the same I'm thinking about this election, because I've been getting a few buyers too, just a little nervous about, well, I'm waiting to see what happened in the election. And it just makes me, I just have to caution you about waiting to see on anything. Because if at any moment things change, when everybody jump in, because they waited to see like you two, you might be out the game.
And what do you exactly mean by waiting for the election? Like, what does that
Yeah,
really
what is
mean?
that?
They're like, oh, I'm waiting to see who's coming in, so I know. Like, I don't know.
And
You know it.
I don't know. I feel like if you don't plan to move out the country, what are you waiting on?
Can you send
So
Jasmine a link
Jasmine,
for the pre-approval application, your link, Alexis, please?
Sure.
And Jasmine, we
yes,
work
yes,
late, so don't be
yes.
surprised if you hear from somebody tonight. You fill the application out tonight. My president of the company is on his way here now because we have an event this weekend, and he'll probably be up working. He called this the billionaire room, so he'll probably want to come in here and
Hey, that's another thing. You want your lender to be available, because
yes.
stuff pop off sometimes.
We got a CTC last night from our investor at 11:59. And
CTC
I was like,
is clear
what?
to close. Okay, go.
But the investor was up. The underwriter was up. I said, we sending all our loans to them. All of them. The fact that they were up, what is it, burning the midnight oil with us, that's a good investor. And it was a down payment assistance program.
Amen. Yep, I'm telling you, I've seen it all on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen it all. Keep coming with them questions. Is our new construction person coming in?
Oh, no.
Okay. No worries. No worries. No worries. But definitely, if you are going to new construction, go with an agent. Make sure before you let them know that you are working with someone, if you happen to go. But work with someone, because, again, you want your representation. If you were doing anything else where you would get represented, if you were divorcing your husband, would you want his lawyer to be your lawyer? I don't think so. I would hope not, unless you don't want much. But you want to make sure that your interests are protected, and that someone is making sure. And it's not to say that they do anything unscrupulous or anything like that, but they are employed by that builder, so quite naturally. And the same thing when we're going out here looking at these homes, especially now with these new rules from NAR. When you go to the listing agent, they're they are assigned to that seller. So yeah, they can show you the house. Yeah, we could do the deal, because I've heard people say, "Oh, I could just work with them and save the money." Okay, who's making sure your best interests are covered?
Right.
Make sure of that. So definitely do that, guys.
And that builder is going to pay most of the times. I don't know how much the laws have changed with that, but I know the builder usually pays the realtor. So your realtor's getting paid. Yeah, your realtor is going to get paid by the builder. So why not let them?
Let them. Exactly. Why not let them make sure you covered, right? So for sure. And they able to, if you have a good realtor like Tanika or Alexis, they can negotiate some extra incentives, some other things in there because I'm going in there begging like he sweat.
Mm-hmm. Appliances.
Make it last.
To know if you don't ask.
Forever. Hey, most they
And
can
I'm
say
not
is
scared
no.
to know.
And I'm not scared. My
No.
buyers will tell you, she said it don't matter. But what the worst they can say is no.
Yep.
Well,
It's a numbers game. You got to go through so
it
It's a
many
is.
no's
numbers
before you
game.
get to a yes. So,
Absolutely. Yep. So
yeah. Any
so
other questions?
y'all, we don't have any other questions. So listen, we done went 30 minutes beyond our time. 'Cause we
Over.
was giving y'all so much. Y'all done scored the winning touchdown. Game over. Y'all at the Super Bowl. Then closed. Closing time is a beautiful time. I always tell my buyers, like, do your hand stretches. Got a lot of documents because again, we talking about hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and people want to know. I want you to sign here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and a little blood, please. And because before I give, I mean, some of y'all are hard on giving somebody $100, loaning $100. So you certainly can understand, you know. But definitely, like I said, I hope, tonight you guys were fed. Naisha definitely came and brought all the heat. Filled you up with everything you need to know about your credit and about this money. Alexis really educated you, really took you through what it is to, in finding a home and understanding a lot of those documents because sometimes people just have you sign stuff and they don't explain it to you like that. So I appreciate Alexis showing and sharing with you what the information about broker service is, the buyer broker agreement, all of those things. That's important. And
Mm-hmm. It's
you
everyday
want
stuff
to,
for us, but it might be your first time looking at that, and it can be intimidating having a bunch of papers you need to sign and not really knowing what it means. So,
and you don't want an agent just trying to throw stuff at you and not feeling comfortable having a conversation to tell you what they are and what they mean, right? What were you saying, Aisha?
Pre-approval versus pre-qualification. So a
Yes.
pre-qualification is a letter that I make. I look at your income, I look at your assets, I look at your credit, and I say, oh, they're pre-qualified, and I send you shopping. A pre-approval is where an underwriter has reviewed all your documents and underwritten your income, underwritten your assets, underwritten your credit, and they give you a pre-approval. And now once we get into the house, all we need to do is underwrite the house. So that's the difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification. The banker giving you a letter versus the actual underwriter providing you with the letter. So it's a lot more. You have a lot more weight. You hold a lot more weight when you have an actual pre-approval letter. So that's the difference. Sorry.
and how
Yes.
much is your credit application is for with the link I just dropped?
We don't charge for the application. You're going to pay for your credit report. That's like
Mm-hmm.
$70 or $80. But I don't. I
Okay.
get paid by the bank. The bank pays me. My job is to make sure that the client gets into a good loan, and then the bank will pay me for that loan. I don't take any money from my clients at all. Let the bank pay
Okay.
my bills.
Okay.
And guys, what she explained about that pre-approval and pre-qual, the reason I asked that question because it's important because when I'm working with a seller, I'm looking at that because I'm calling. Have they looked at docs? Because we want to know, can you get to the closing table? That's the name of the game. Can you make it happen? Can you score?
Mhm.
And another thing that I ask my buyers to ask their lender for is a loan estimate. You need to be clear because I don't want you to get further down the line and say, well, I didn't know I needed this much for closing. I didn't know I needed this much for. I want you to have a clear picture. Everything you do, I want you to be well informed so that you're clear about what monies are required, what you need to have, exactly how much you need to bring to that closing table, if anything, what taxes are going to cost, like all those things. You want to know that. So definitely make sure. So what did Kimberly ask? Kimberly, if you don't
No,
get in there and put that application in,
no. Upfront. Some of these lenders actually charge like a $900 commitment fee because a lot of people will waste their time This is not a waste of time for me. This is an investment of my time. And I learn something new from every application, from every client I meet. It's a learning experience for me. So we don't charge. I've had loan officers be like, I'm tired of doing all this stuff. And then they don't qualify. They usually end up being fired because that's not what we're about. So there is no application fee. You will pay for your credit reports. And the other fees we talked about, inspection, appraisal, EMD, closing costs, down payment. But for the application and for us to give you a consultation and tell you what you qualify for, there's no fee for that. There is no $2,500 application fee with the Lending Village. There are others that will charge that fee. I don't do that. This is my protest. I opened this company as a protest because I got tired of people getting taken advantage of. And I'm not going to take $2,500 from you and you don't qualify. I'd rather spend a good hour with you and learn from you and you learn from me. And then we can be, sometimes we make friendships. You refer me out to other people and things like that because I've done right by you. So if you decide you can't move forward, just refer me to somebody else, but I'm not charging you. If you want to give me $2,500, I can't even take it. Ethically, I won't take it. So just be mindful of my time and I'll be mindful of yours. That's all I ask. I'm here to be used, not misused.
Love that.
Yeah. Let's get you, Kimberly. Let's get you in a.
Come on, let's get it in there.
Let's get you some doors.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chew with my
A lot of good questions.
This is what we signing with. This is what's gonna change your life. This right here.
This is me at the closing table. You got it, baby. You can do it. You can do it.
And you will do it. And you get to do it.
You will do it.
And if I could just leave you with one last thing, and please don't be mad at me. Do not try to stress me the hell out while you guys are trying to buy this house. Do not worry about everything going perfect. Do not call me. We're not going to talk every day. You don't want to talk to me every day. I don't want to talk to you every day. If no news is good news. Do not bring all that negative. Can I cuss? Do not bring all that negative ass energy into the transaction. You need to be positive. You need to think positive. You need to speak positive. Your thoughts and your words are powerful. For my people who don't understand the power of your thoughts and your words, they are powerful. So be excited that you get to do this. Be excited that you qualified for the house. Be excited that you got to go under contract. Be excited that you're getting ready to close. Hell, if the underwriter comes back and says they need this, that, and the other, be excited that the underwriter reviewed your file and get those documents over. Do not bring any negativity because I'm personally not going to absorb it. I'm super positive. I just don't want you. I don't want you going through those emotions because there's a lot of anxiety behind not knowing and buying a house. And it's just like it's like you questioning God. Like, why would he take you and get you through all this? If you don't get the house or something happens at the end and you fall out of escrow, it was for your own good. You get another house.
Yes.
But don't come into the transaction being a negative Nancy and overthinking. Girl, let me tell you something.
It's gonna happen.
Let me tell you my overthinkers. This is what you do. Okay, y'all ready for this lesson? I paid a lot of money for this therapy. Okay, get you a notepad and write it all out, and then burn it. Okay, write all your thoughts out, all that stuff that's bothering you, that's stored in your brain. Write it out, burn it, release it, let it go. Get it out your head because you got to get it out your head. You have to release it. You need to release it. Y'all got it? Write it out, burn it. If it's something that you need, write it down, leave it on your nightstand because now you've moved it from your mind to your paper so you don't have to hold it in your brain anymore. What happens when you're constantly overthinking is you're not present in conversations you need to be present in because you're thinking about all these other things and you're not giving people the attention that they deserve and they need. And then you're also creating negative energy with all these what if scenarios. What if, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Nah, you walk up in there with your head up and your chest out like, I'm buying this house. This is my house. Period. When I walked into this house right here, I walked into the foyer. My cousin and I walked in. We kicked everybody out and we prayed to this house. And we said, okay, God, if this is my house, make it easy. And we closed in 2 weeks. But we prayed over it. We didn't come in here like, oh, God, I sure hope I get pre-approved. Nah, this is my house. This is my house. So speak it, walk it, think it. You got it?
And don't tell them negative ass people either that you know.
Don't tell nobody.
Don't tell nobody. Oh, girl. Oh, that's
don't tell nobody. Invite them to the housewarming party if you decide to have one. Because I don't let everybody in my house. But because you're gonna tell your cousin, and your cousin is gonna be like, "Oh, you paying too much money. Oh, I got this money with no money down." They're gonna lie to you. Oh, and we're going to go, the document she said, the loan estimate, when I give you a loan estimate, it's going to be it's going to be padded. I'm going to put it's going to be, so for example, if your closing costs are only $10,000, my sheet's probably going to show that you owe 20,000. And I do that to protect myself, because if I quote you something under and it's over, I'm responsible to pay the difference. So all of my LEs are padded, and I'll explain that to you when we get to that point. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
That's
got
But
that.
yeah,
good
y'all,
to
you
know.
guys had some good questions, so we
Yes, we
appreciate
covered a
everyone
lot of
tuning in
ground.
tonight, even though we went over a little bit.
Yes, we did, but they got fed. So, ladies, take me out. Tell me, what do you want to leave the people with? Start with you, Naisha, then we'll go to you, Alexis.
Just do it. Do it scared.
I
Just
co-sign that.
do it. Just see what you qualify for. You're not gonna die. Like, it's a loan application. Just see what you qualify for, and just do it scared. Like, I promise you, we'll have fun together. My loan officers all have pulses. We all have personalities. We're gonna laugh together. We're gonna cry together. Like, just do it. And like she said, don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody what you're doing. Nobody.
Yep, I agree.
Keep it on the down low.
Nobody has to know. Let's go, Alexis. What you want to leave the people with?
I pretty much really just back up what Naisha is saying, because yeah, a lot of people just don't even start. If you don't start, you just never do nothing. You have to start, even if you don't know where to start, even if you don't know what, you got to just put action behind it. But today, you know where to start. I mean, we definitely covered that. You just want to start the loan application. Um, yeah, getting a good mortgage lender and a good realtor, a dynamic duo. That's what you need, and then everything else will work itself out.
So, guys, yeah, we still have 10 people that are out there. And if you feel full, if you feel like you was fed tonight, I want you to put full in the chat. Come on, run it up. Put full in the chat. If you feel like you were filled with the Holy Spirit, with with some knowledge, some wisdom, you feel like you know a little bit more, put full in the chat. Run it up. Run it up. And I want to leave y'all with, listen, I really thank all of you for tuning in. And I thank you, Naisha, for sharing your knowledge. I thank you, Alexis, for sharing yours. And what I hope to leave you all with is, I hope that what we've imparted in you is that it's okay. It's
Hmm.
okay to take that step. That you have sat on the live now for an hour and a half, 2 hours with two people, and if you don't feel comfortable with these ladies, I mean, if you still scared with these ladies, I mean, we're not buttoned up, we're not judgmental. No one was snooty, you know. We we just shared our own stories, letting you know what it is, that where we started from and where we are today. So, if nothing else, I hope that you all are full. Nakiri says she's full. And I hope that you reach out to us and partner with us to begin this journey together. And
Yeah,
know that there will be more coming from us. And hey, just stay tuned. And we thank you guys so
yeah.
much for joining tonight.
And I'm gonna drop the Facebook page if you guys also wanna. Um, I know Naisha number is out,
Yes.
but yeah, if you guys wanna,
And
continue
if
to
you
get more
want to
tips from
share,
us or have any questions, I think
tell the
most of
people
you
where they can find you guys. Tell them where they can find you.
You can find me all over the internet. I'm all over the
same.
internet. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook. I'm on the Gram. You can just type in Naisha Walton. You can Google the Lending Village. I'm all over the internet. And one thing that these ladies forgot to share is we will teach you how to become real estate agents or loan officers. We have plugs. So if you want to get into the real estate
Yes.
industry, or you want to become a loan officer, or if you want to do both of them, you need to reach out to us, because we can help you with that part too.
Absolutely. Come on, Jordan. Jordan said, full. Come on.
Jordan
Full.
got some comedies.
Yes.
It's all the sweetness over here.
Yes. Full, full, full. Where can they reach you, Alexis?
Same. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys have my cell. I can drop it in the chat as well.
Yeah, I can't put stuff in the chat for some reason.
Oh no.
Let me
I don't
see.
know how to. I'm gonna just say that. But you guys, Naisha Walton, the Linden Village.
And you see everyone's name here. And also, we will drop it in the chat as well after the live, and that information will be here. This recording will be here in case you missed any part of it. You got
Yeah, you can go
to
back and
go and eat your
rewatch it.
dinner or something like that. You can go back and rewatch it. I am your homegirl, Tanika Henderson. You can find me on all platforms. My homegirl here on YouTube, Homegirls Guide to Real Estate. Just search for Tanika Henderson. You will find me. She's everywhere. She's full. She animated. She all the things. But guess what, honey? She is knowledgeable. She comes with the knowledge. She comes with the resources. You see, I brought the resources here today. You see what I'm saying? You better come. You better get into it. You better come on. So yes, thank you guys again for joining us. Thank you, ladies. This has been an amazing event. I'm so thankful.
Mhm.
First of many. Till next time,
Yeah,
guys.
until next time, because there's definitely something coming up soon.
See you soon.